Ash fell from the sky. The simple yet very curious sentence that started it all. And by it, I mean my slight addiction. When I read this 3 years ago, I had no idea of how obsessed I'd come to be. And to think that I opened the book out of boredom and at a time when I wasn't even into fantasy? How lucky! Or maybe the book used some iron pull on me. Ooh. 8 months ago, wow already, I made a review of The Well of Ascension. My first video ever and I'm pretty proud of it. It's got terrible sound quality but lots of premium commentary. You should watch it. And yes, I totally did book 2 before book 1. I would explain, but we Mistborn did not make sense. Deal with it. Let us go back to the final empire, to the roots, and see how a world painted black was freed and reborn. Warning, this is about to get fangirly and oddly personal, so prepare for the cringe. Scadrial. My introduction to fantasy was the Rainwild Chronicles by Robin Hobb. It was really hard to get into the series since I was a total noob in the genre, though I did end up highly enjoying it. Still, I didn't think I would go back to fantasy very often, and I stuck with my murder mysteries. Until Mistborn. Without exaggeration, this series changed my life. And let me tell you, going from a quirky Belgian detective to people eating medals for magic was quite the transition. I was very confused in the beginning, of course, but once I started warming up to the characters, once I started getting familiar with the mechanics of it all, I realized what a beautiful world it was. I mean, beautiful if you like darkness and not breathing. The world building is remarkable, and the magic is nothing I'd seen before. A system that is original, that makes sense, and gives a whole new perspective on diets. I wouldn't recommend trying it though. But yes, despite my very limited knowledge on the fantasy genre and not being very used to reading in English at the time, the book knew how to captivate me until the end. And thanks to Sanderson for reminding me of Allomancy's rules every 2 pages, this is very noob friendly and me likey. Also, conspiracy theory. Scadrial is future Earth. Maybe Sanderson is a time hopper and we're all swimming in the Cosmere right now. That means we need a hero. Kelsier. Kelsier, the survivor of Hathsin, our savior. I don't know many characters who'd barge in with a grin, set fire to the place and leave with an even bigger smile. I was too busy trying to make sense of what I was reading to really notice Kelsier's awesomeness at first. It took me quite a few Kelsier's smile for me to think, hey, this guy's adorable. Until he kills someone with no mercy and I go, aww. Oh! Probably why some call him a psychopath. But I stop you right there. This is a psychopath. This is a psychopath. This is not a psychopath. Was he reckless at times? Yes. Jumping headfirst into any dangerous situations, sparing nobody in his trail. But you know what? He's not entirely good, not entirely bad, and this is what makes him so great. He's a hero because he fights for what matters, because he's confronted to difficult situations, because he must make decisions that might hurt some, and because he makes mistakes. Kelsier wouldn't be Kelsier if he was perfect. Let's not forget his vacation at the pits of Hathsin. That's bound to leave some scars, and not only on your arms. Especially when you're locked up with the love of your life and having to deal with their potential betrayal and then their death. I know for sure that my hope wouldn't have been enough to keep me going and survive this hell. Now, I'm not saying all of this is a valid reason to be so ruthless. Kelsier's ways were a bit extreme at times, and thank goodness his friends as well as Vin were there to make him snap out of it. I love how he came for vengeance, not only for him, but also for the people that died at the hands of the Lord Ruler, and how, after starting his plan with the rebellion, he came back to the pits and destroyed them. Okay, that had some terrible repercussions because of the disappearing ATM. Think about it. He came back to this awful place, both a symbol of his trauma and the Lord Ruler's power, the very thing that almost killed him, and he gave it a big punch and destroyed it. Claps for you, my friend. Another thing that I've seen a couple people mention, apparently Kelsier is a creep, as in his relationship with Vin. Speaking of which, I have a confession to make. I did ship them a little bit in the beginning. Wait. Don't cancel me yet. I quickly realized that it was disgusting! And I gave up the idea. And for what it's worth, yes, I am ashamed of myself. But it seems I'm not the only one that's guilty. So much that Sanderson felt the need to write paragraphs upon paragraphs in which Kelsier screams and shouts about how fatherly he feels towards Finn. This is hilarious. Anyway, all of this to say that, to me at least, there's nothing creepy going on here. And thank goodness. In most books I've read lately, there was no decent father figure, and it's something I want to see more. I spent most of my existence without a father, and it always comforts me when, in fiction, a character has an amazing fatherly presence in their life. And me feeling so close to Vin, her special bond with Kelsier warmed my heart so much. Now, can you imagine that same heart break into a million pieces when Kelsier decided dying was a good idea? I was probably stupid for not foreseeing that, but I'm guessing part of me didn't want that to happen, so much that I wasn't a possibility in my mind. And it was so blunt. All my attention was on the Lord Ruler and his first appearance, and Kelsier was standing there being a freaking hero. I am the one thing you can never kill. I am hope. Are you now? I was not okay. I'm still not okay. I don't think I'll ever get over it. Vin's reaction in that moment killed me, and I shared her grief when afterward she went through all that anger and frustration and despair because her losing Kelsier felt like I was losing my father all over again. Wait, I'm actually making myself cry. Anyway, can we stop being sad? Yes? No? This is supposed to be fun. So, who wants to be my dad? In a non-creepy way? Shut up.
Be my dad.
I could go on about Kel, but that kind of history is secret. And the man himself says there's always another secret, and I won't tell. Straff. Did I already complain about this guy? Yes. Is this part useless? Probably. Will this stop me? No, no, no. Straff Venture. Local party guy. Filthy mouth. Pure evil. I have only hatred for this man, and I hope most of us do, cause if you think he's in any way redeemable, then I'm deeply concerned. He's mean, and being mean isn't nice. And now my sister's making fun of me because apparently I'm just making up excuses to insult this man. But this is what we do here, sis. We yell about things. I'm sorry, but the amount of trauma this man gave everyone around him is plain awful. All those scout women he abused, all those people he mistreated, including his own son. He deserved way worse than his fate. Although that was a really nice moment, not gonna lie. I feel better now. Then, ever notice how hot the Cosmere women are? I know, very observant of me. And my first Mistborn love is none other than Vin. If you watched my previous video or know a little about me, you're already aware of how much I adore this girl. Some of you even called me out and said I was being a little gay for Vin. Excuse you, I'm super gay for Vin. This is no joke, by the way. She genuinely made me question my sexuality. Anyway, what was I saying? Ah yes, Vin. Cute, tiny, deadly. I have a lot of admiration for Vin. I've already talked a bit about this, but I felt really close to Vin as I was reading. Her trust issues, her severe PTSD, her jumping and her fearing, her difficulty to come to terms with her own self and accept love from others. My insecurities resemble hers a lot, and I find it fascinating the way she manages to overcome them and become the best version of herself. Unlike me. That's why she's my hero. My role model. My absolute goddess. Speaking of that, have I mentioned to you the cult I created? No? Jeez, what am I doing? Here, listen. I'm the self-proclaimed leader of the Vin cult. We believe in our goddess Vin, and my coffin-sized room is the Vin church of our sacred Vin religion. Sounds good, doesn't it? Join us and get this nice badge. Still not convinced? Crank up your tin a little bit because I need you to listen real close. Vin starts off abused and scared. Can I slap Cayman real quick? Thanks. Then the local daddy notices her and makes her a special drink that triples her luck. Her new mentor shows her how to shoot coins with style. And now our little Vin has friends, she's learning how to trust, and she can jump off really high walls. Character development! Ooh, but she's not only good at acrobatics, no, no, no. She has much stealth. Her new mission is to dress up and fool the nobles in order to make them spill some tea. Can we all applaud her performance? I was dragged to countless weddings growing up, forced to wear dresses and to comb my hair, and I never could pretend as well as Vin did here. I could barely hide my frown at those parties. And she put up with Shan? I've met plenty of Shans myself. It was not a pleasure. Vin's Shan is particularly insufferable. Talking and behaving like she owns the place. Sure, Shan. We all know who the real queen is. Shan clings to Elend like the mist itself and says,
"He's my fiancé."
"Oh, not for too long, honey. You don't know it yet, but I'm going to steal your man, throw my fists at your stupid face, and you are going to die." Oh, but Shan is no ordinary rival. Cause dun dun dun, she's also a Mistborn. Oh, sneaky little... They start fighting, and Shan's got the nerve to throw daggers at my baby's face. How dare! I don't condone violence, but... Oh. Go kick her ass, Vin! Lo and behold, 5 minutes later, Shan goes yeet. Serves her well. She ruined Vin's dress. And thus, the party's over. What a show! Sorry for those who wanted to dance with her, but Vin needs to leave before accidentally seducing everyone in the room and added other handkerchiefs to her collection. Back home, she gets scolded because she looks like Carrie. But Vin, unstoppable, slaps them with the truth. Their hypocrisy about being ska, but living like nobles. Ooh, as Elend would say, dear blunt Vin. As we already know, blunt Vin isn't just blunt with her words. How can we talk about Final Empire Vin without mentioning her battle with the big evil? She still has some trouble believing in herself, and her imposter syndrome kicks in like,
"So what if I'm the monster?"
But then she read Kelsier's letter saying, "Farewell, I'll tell Mare about you. She always wanted a daughter." Nope, no crying. And she's like, you know what, y'all? And she walks up to Krennic Shaw, and yeah, she gets him a present and stuff. But let's skip to the part where she kicks ass, okay? Well, she kicks ass. She gets help from a couple of friends, and after an epic fight where all seems lost, invincible Lord Ruler dies. This girl, she killed a god. Even he had to admit he was no good in front of Vin Almighty. And if you're on your first read and you think this is some Deus Ex Machina crap, keep reading. There's always another secret. Alright, I hope you've opened your eyes by now. This was my Vin propaganda. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and blessed be. Spook. Why was he called this again? Because Spook is anything but spooky. Oh yeah, it's because nobody can say his actual name. Nope, I'm not even gonna try. But yes, he's very sweet. His shyness was so adorable. And his little crush on Vin too, even though he got
Denied.
His time to shine isn't here yet. We need the end of the world for that. So I guess I'm just going to laugh at his funny way of talking. Just kidding, Spook. I love you. You're a great friend. Emphasis on friend. Elend. I'll be straightforward here. Elend Venture is the man of my dreams. I'm about to sound like a crazy fangirl again, aren't I? It's not my fault he's so perfect. Elend's first lines were enough. I knew. I was like, I don't know who you are, but you sure sound like the love interest and I have a crush on you. Hi! Listen, nerds are so attractive. I'm dead serious. I like soft and smart. Elend is this and much more. He likes books! Excuse me, sir? Marry me? I was the one reading books at those weddings I mentioned earlier, under the disappointed stare of my mother. So you see why Mr. I read books at balls can't get any closer to perfection. I swear, these characters make my standards go through the roof. Are balls still a thing? By the way, somebody take me to a ball. My favorite scene with Elend is when he was sitting with a crying Finn on the balcony and he told her about his poopy father. I mean his traumatic experiences. I think the way Sanderson makes many of his characters bond is just beautiful. Also love the questions Elend asked about the ska, like they were some kind of aliens. And the handkerchief! Oh god, the handkerchief! Isn't that the cutest thing? Ah! I've come to realize, I like to dress up as Vin, but deep down, I think I might actually be Oriane. Is that a good thing? And yes, the romance did unfold a bit quickly, but ever heard of love at first sight? I didn't believe in it until I met my very own Elend, and not even a month into a relationship, I asked him to marry me. He gave me a handkerchief. What else could I do? By the way, if by some crazy chance Sanderson is watching this, we met thanks to the Cosmere, so you're invited to the wedding. Bring a flute. You're going to be our Hoid. But I digress. Back to Elend. He didn't do much in this book. He's way more present in the sequels, so for now, I can only comment on how he makes my ovaries explode. I'm sorry, was that inappropriate? Forget about that. Yes, let's talk about that time he helped take down the Lord Ruler. Yeah, he did actually help, right? He came in with his dueling cane after Vin, Marsh, and Seiza took care of everything. After the battle ended. Elend in this moment is me playing Pathfinder. Skillful rogue throws knife. Rolls a 5 on a d20. Knife lands on the floor. It's okay, Elend. We still love you. Especially when we had that very sweet scene when Vin realized that some people do come back and do stay. My heart. But yeah, if you want more input on Elend as a character, watch my Well of Ascension video. Hoid. So he was there. I didn't know I was supposed to pay attention. I had to see the fandom talk about him and then do a reread to be like, oh, there you are. Yes, sneaky little. I love how the Cosmere books reward you for your rereads with hidden hints, new info, Easter eggs. And it must have been so fun and mind-blowing to the first fans of the series. Can you imagine just casually reading these books and starting to connect dots? Like being one of the first people to notice the things happening behind the scenes? It must have been so exciting. I wish I was there, but I was too busy obsessing over vampires and reading R-rated fanfiction. Don't tell my mom. The Lord Ruler. The big evil. Or is he? It's very easy to be intimidated by the Lord Ruler, despite his ridiculous name, and the fact that we don't see him for most of the book, which is impressive. He's an invisible threat, looming over our heads the entire time, and this is how you know that Sanderson did a great job at building him up as a villain. The moment he finally appears, it's a major moment. This is the guy that spiked the ultimate hope and casually announced, "Let the executions begin!" Okay, can we maybe calm down for a bit, have a cup of tea? It's an important, terrible event surrounded with mystery because at this point, what do we really know about the Lord Ruler? He's a 1,000-year-old tyrant, his empire is built on injustice and pain, and he has a funny name that everybody fears. Okay, but how did he manage to stay in power all this time? How could he live for so long? Is he old? Is he young? And what in the Lord Ruler's name did he mean at the time of his death when he said, "By killing me, you have doomed yourselves"? Of course, I know the answers, but sadly, there's not much I can add to this because of spoilers. So, see you in a future review for book 3. Smash the like button. I guess it's no use to say Mistborn is a series that's very dear to me, not only because of its compelling story or its endearing characters, but also because I read it at the perfect time. A time when I had no friend, when I had no ambition, and when my mental health was suffering a serious decline. The final empire was there. It gave me hope, it gave me strength, it made me believe again. I had stopped reading and drawing and was forcing myself to write to remain somewhat productive, and the reason why I came back to enjoying these things, the reason why you're watching this, is mainly thanks to this one book. Books have such power to them. They can be so inspiring, so magical, and I genuinely don't understand people who say crap like, "Chill, it's just a book." Yeah, this is how they sound in my head. Anyway, today's therapy session is over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified on every new showcase of my insanity. I got lots of it. My next Cosmere video will be on Words of Radiance. So many feelings for that one. Will it be next? Will it not? I'm not sure yet. You can ignore my other content, that's alright. But if you like my Cosmere stuff, please stick around. I'm failing at most things in life, and I want to become internet famous. That will be all. Bye-bye! Oh, and make sure you toss a coin to your Mistborn. It could save their life.